Now we're talking, boys.
Caitlin Clark. I didn't know a lot about her. Like, I knew who she was, obviously, but just this past year.
She is the only reason I watch basketball.
Oh, no.
No.
Women's basketball.
Truly.
Women's basketball.
No, basketball.
Truly.
I never watched the NBA before.
Really?
I swear.
I, actually tune into Caitlin Clark now. It's so dope. I mean, the Indiana Fever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and then I remember
No one knew what the Indiana Fever was a year ago. No, and it doesn't matter. I understand there's some OGs out there that are upset.
WNBA star Caitlin Clark is making a strong statement by turning down the opportunity to compete in the NBA All-Star Weekend 3-point challenge. She's saying no because she doesn't want to be used by the NBA for publicity. But why exactly is she refusing the challenge? And how does she feel about the NBA possibly using her image to boost their own profile? Before we dive in, I'd really appreciate it if you could take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy WNBA content.
When we talk about Caitlin Clark, the first time the NCAA game was on ABC was last year. So in order to give something a chance to succeed, don't bury it in NFL Sundays. Give it a chance.
There's been a lot of talk lately about Caitlin Clark, especially regarding her impact on the WNBA and whether she deserves a spot on the Team USA roster for the Paris Olympics. But some people have used this as an opportunity to bring up bigger topics, like race, that aren't directly related to Clark's performance or achievements. These discussions often steer away from focusing on her as an athlete.
Whenever you think of Angel Reese, people often mention Caitlin Clark. You've said in interviews, there's no beef, but the media keeps going on. So how do you feel about that situation?
Caitlin is an amazing player, and I've always thought she was an amazing player. We've been playing each other since high school. So I think it's really just the fans, her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans that are they ride for her. And I respect that respectfully, but sometimes it's very...
One of the key figures in the conversation is Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark, who recently announced she won't be participating in the NBA's 3-point challenge during the All-Star Weekend next month. Instead, she plans to make her 3-point contest debut at the WNBA All-Star Game in July. According to her representatives at EXL Sports Management, Clark wants her first appearance in a 3-point contest to be at the WNBA's All-Star event. Her decision adds an interesting twist, especially after last year's memorable face-off between NBA star Steph Curry and WNBA star Sabrina Ionescu. In that showdown, Curry narrowly beat Ionescu 29-26 in a one-round shooting challenge, which ended up stealing the spotlight from the NBA's regular 3-point contest. The challenge was held at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, but Ionescu has yet to confirm whether she'll be part of this year's NBA All-Star festivities. She's currently playing in the new professional women's basketball 3x3 league that launched last month, though she did mention she will be in the Bay Area for NBA All-Star Weekend. Despite missing some games, the WNBA's All-Star Weekend will take place in Indianapolis at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, home of the Fever and the Pacers, on July 18th and 19th.
Just back up and shoot it from further back, too.
There you go. Okay, how far can you go? Steph Curry range is no problem for you.
Yeah, no problem.
You're the best.
With the WNBA All-Star Weekend still a few months away, Caitlin Clark has been the subject of much attention, not only for her impressive basketball skills but also for debates that go beyond the sport. As the league's #1 overall draft pick, her rise to fame has brought increased interest to women's basketball. However, as a white player, her name has been used in social media culture wars, which has been frustrating for her. There's also been ongoing debate about her performance and why she didn't make the USA Basketball Olympic roster, even though she has stayed mostly out of the social media drama. Despite this, Clark finds herself in the middle of heated discussions and is now speaking out about it. When asked how she feels about being dragged into these debates despite keeping a low profile online, Clark, who was named the Athletics Athlete of the Year, said people should stop using her name to push harmful agendas. She acknowledged that it's something beyond her control and doesn't agree with how her name is often used in arguments to stir up negativity.
Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. You go, girl.
A lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle.
Oh.
She dictates. She and the Indiana Fever accounted for 45% of all the broadcast value of the WNBA last season. The economic impact, $36 million. She drove to Indianapolis just by showing up. She moves because she knows people follow her no matter where she goes, and she's very strategic about dictating where her value is.
I do agree with her.
Okay.
I am just disappointed in some of the points she negated to bring up. that three-point contest between Ionescu and Steph Curry, the event was the most watched NBA All-Star Saturday night in 4 years. In 4 years. She's putting the WNBA first.
Boy, it's a different tune. Stephen A was first on the scene with this one, though. I got to give him props for that. The acceptance of the Caitlin Clark effect. But boy, we got receipts, and boy, it's funny to see how many people were stubborn to this. And look, if you got another reason other than her color, give it to me. But how in the hell didn't people see this coming? People saw this not only coming, saw it happening, and still were like, nah. And now, since we have the power to look back retroactively, right? The 2020 hindsight, everyone could see the receipts of, whoa, Caitlin Clark was it. That was it. You got termed a sellout if you didn't say Angel Reese in the same name. I still hear people qualifying when they talk about the league. They'll throw Angel Reese in there. Ooh, that thing too loud. What's up, baby? What up? Y'all good? All right. She ain't worked out in how long? Let me stop. Oh, man. The fan.
When asked about the deeper issues behind the ongoing debates, Caitlin Clark made it clear where she stands. She emphasized the importance of respect and fairness in the league and responded firmly to those using her name in racist or misogynistic arguments. Clark believes every player in the WNBA deserves equal respect. While staying focused on her game, she's also making strategic decisions, like turning down a major opportunity to compete in the WNBA All-Star three-point contest. This choice sparked a lot of discussion. Clark, who's quickly become the biggest star in women's basketball, was invited to take part in the contest but declined. ESPN analyst David Dennis Jr. criticized her for not participating, claiming she had no excuse. However, speaking with reporters before the skills challenge, Clark explained that she needed to prioritize her health and well-being after an intense year. She said competing in the contest wasn't as simple as just showing up to shoot, it's something she hadn't had much time to practice. Clark confidently stated that there would be plenty of future opportunities for her to compete. By the way, over 98% of viewers watch the videos without subscribing. It's free, and it really helps us out, so if you haven't subscribed yet, we'd appreciate it. Thanks for your support, and now back to the video.
You mentioned that, you want to concentrate on basketball, and definitely respect that. But when, just asking directly, when people use your name for racism, misogyny, whatever, what is your response to that?
Yeah, I think it's disappointing. I think, everybody in our world, deserves the same amount of respect. The women on our league deserve the same amount of respect. So, people should not be using my name to push those agendas. It's disappointing. It's not acceptable. But yeah, I mean, this league is the league I grew up admiring and wanting to be a part of. Like, some of the women in this league were my biggest idols and role models growing up and helped me want to achieve this moment right here that I get to play in every single night. So, just treating every single woman in this league with the same amount of respect, I think is just a basic human thing that everybody should do. Like, just be a kind person and treat them, how you would want to be treated. And, I think it's, very simple.
What was it like for that fundraiser? Like, what was it like to be helping out the community? Also, see you didn't go too easy on that kid with the block.
Couldn't go too easy. Come on. He wanted to play me one-on-one. He said he could beat me, so I threw the ball pretty far away. But it's fun when you get to get out in the community. I think it puts basketball into perspective. Like, those little kids had never been to a Fever game, and they were just begging to come to a Fever game. Like, I think it just shows your impact that you have in this community, but also the amazing opportunities that I've been able to have because of basketball. And I don't think people always realize, like, those interactions.
So, here's Aaliyah Boston stealing the ball and finding Caitlin Clark on the break. But as soon as she's about to build up a head of steam, Diamond the Shields just bulldozed her out of nowhere, and even laughed it off afterward, as if she had done nothing. Meanwhile, Caitlin seems already used to this kind of treatment, as she just stands up and walks away. However, it didn't stop her from blurting out sweet nothings on the Shields. Cause you see, that was actually the third time she fouled her hard in just 38 seconds, much to the approval and support of the biggest Caitlin Clark hater of all time. I mean, this was not just a random act of violence directed at CC, because based on this interesting stat right here, 17% of the WNBA's flagrant fouls this season have been committed against Caitlin, and weirdly enough, 80% of those came from Angel Reese and her Chi-Town crew. This was the last matchup between the Sky and the Fever this season. And it's pretty clear that the close pals of Angel Reese are trying their best to take out Caitlin so she would not have any chance to win the Rookie of the Year award. And see, not only players like the Shields are looking to put Caitlin out of the race, because recently ESPN released their latest rookie rankings, and in that article they put Angel Reese at the #1 spot over Caitlin, even though everybody knows that CC has better stats overall than Reese this season, and the Fever has a better win-loss record than the Sky. I mean, heading to this highly anticipated clash, the Rookie of the Year race was somehow considered to be pretty much a toss-up between Caitlin and Angel Reese, which is why there's no doubt in anyone's mind that whoever comes up on top in this particular game would surely take home the Rookie of the Year trophy. Anyway, with that being said, let's quickly jump right into the action. Caitlin starts things off by showcasing her vision as she locates Nalissa Smith for the uncontested bucket underneath.
On her shoulder speed, more aggressive off.
Then, she hops in for a 3, coming off a brush screen from AB.
Blocked for 3.
Before blowing by her defender here to finish all the way to the hole. CC was on the roll early, and moments later, she wowed the crowd with back-to-back mind-blowing dimes. First, she sets up Kelsey Mitchell for their patented backdoor play, and after stealing the ball from Angel Reese, CC threads the needle here with this bounce pass to Temi on the run, who then converted the and one.
It's a pass! Grab the needle, my goodness!
Caitlin played the entire first quarter and finished with 5 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists, while Angel Reese, on the other hand, was hitting the side of the backboard to end up with 2 points. Anyway, in the second frame, Caitlin starts to heat up early as she hits back-to-back triples to put the Fever ahead.
First quarter, Clark again! Heating up!
Then, after that, she throws a touchdown pass to Erica Wheeler before feeding Damaris Dantas